If I didn't know better, and I do know better, I would think you might be a Democrat. Do you really think you can get the Republican nomination making those statements and taking those positions?
Well, you add that to the fact that I'm also one of the most conservative members of the Senate in the sense that I vote against spending, I vote against unbalanced budgets, I'm a proponent of lower taxes, so all of those are right within the mainstream of the party. But I do have some additional things, I call them sometimes the libertarian-ish kind of issues of believing in privacy, believing in criminal justice, that everyone should be treated fairly under the law no matter the color of your skin. We still have a large problem in our country that if you are black, you're not always being treated fairly under the law, and I want to fix that.
All right, joining us now is Kevin Williamson, roving correspondent for National Review. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, okay. Well, I have to hear him to respond to him. Thank you very much, Kevin. Let me ask you about Rand Paul. You wrote a piece, for Rand Paul, principled by the bucket. Are you saying he's unprincipled? Are you saying that he has a problem now because he believes one set of things and many, in foreign policy, domestic issues, etc., but as Bob Schieffer alluded to, he now has to kind of change him?
No, I think he's a very principled guy. He's one of the most principled guys probably in the presidential race right now. The question, I think, for Rand Paul is how much of that principle is shared by the American electorate. Republicans have been trying to discover this great body of alleged quiet libertarian voters out there for a long time, and they never quite managed to find them or to show up. So whether it's a question of a sort of general ideological libertarian approach to government or a piece-by-piece look at, well, what can we do about criminal justice reform? How can we reform healthcare in a market-positive sort of way? What can we do about these specific sorts of fiscal issues? That's going to be the real difference, I think, between Rand Paul as kind of a general purpose libertarian or a person who is proposing very specific solutions to particular kinds of problems that voters care about.
And what's your take on Marco Rubio, who is going to make it, he already told donors he's running, but he's going to make an official announcement within an hour here?
Rubio is a terrific politician. We at National Review had him down for an event in Florida not too long ago for a room full of people who weren't necessarily pro-Rubio, because they disagree with him. A lot of our readers do on immigration, some other things. And he put in just a hell of a performance. They were ready to carry him out of there on their shoulders at the end, I think. So he's a very charming guy. He's a very smart guy. He's got a great story. I think he's going to be a formidable contender.
You also, I want to kind of piggyback on what Rand Paul was talking about, police, etc. You wrote a piece about police shootings at National Review as well. Do you really believe that we have a police problem in this country?
Yeah, of course. Police officers are actually, statistically speaking, slightly more likely to be convicted of a crime than members of the general public. Police departments have a very specific kind of power that's very easy to abuse. It's very alluring for a certain sort of person to abuse, and it's a constant problem. I mean, you've seen the Los Angeles Police Department, the New York Police Department, the Chicago Police Department, all penetrated by organized crime syndicates, South Texas Sheriff's Department, small towns. If you go through the annual reports of just the evidence tampering and petty theft carried out by police officers in this country, it's a fairly serious problem. We need to have better oversight. Now, I disagree with Rand Paul and some of the others in that I don't think that it's primarily a racial thing, including the shootings that we've seen lately. I think it's primarily a problem having to do with the way that we not only train but also motivate police officers right now in this issue of the militarization of police and the deployment of every more aggressive tactics, even when you're talking about a situation in which violent crime has declined significantly over the last 25 to 30 years. So I think, no, it's a very, very serious problem, and most people's interaction with government as such, with government as force, is really going to be with the police departments, and so it's an important part of how the public and private sector interact.
Well, I know that the shooting that we saw in South Carolina looks to be inexcusable. I think we have a problem, though. I think we need to teach our people in this country, black, white, green, yellow, purple, don't run from the police. Almost every incident that becomes a story, whether the cop is exonerated or not, is because the perpetrator ran or didn't obey
Yes,
orders.
there is not one police department in this country in which you are authorized to shoot someone just because he's running away.
No. I said it's indefensible. But if he didn't run away, he wouldn't have been shot. That's not to defend the officer. We need to take this opportunity to see. But you could look at all the incidents. Michael Brown.
Few ways to look at it. I mean, yeah, these are, in most of these cases, you've got people who are committing crimes of some sort. They got warrants out. They're resisting arrest. I'm not saying that these, guys are innocents walking down the street. And you often get that story.
All right, we got to leave it there, Kevin. Well, we'll come back. We'll debate this. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it as always. Up next, folks, Tony LoBianco, the great actor. But first, well, let's go to this.